Afternoon. I'm Ces Butner, and I have the honor of being the president of the Rotary Club of Oakland for this year. I'm not running this meeting, so I don't know who's supposed to run it.
Yeah, so
They
Seth,
were very
not
secretive
your,
about all of
hi
this.
Seth. This is Past President Peter Sherris. Ed Jellen, can you please begin?
Yes. All right. You've probably noticed by now that I am not Ces Butner. Rather, I am Ed Jellen, and good afternoon to everybody. I am a past president of the Rotary Club of Oakland, and together with Linda Boessenecker and Ken Richardson, and with all of the other past presidents of the Rotary Club of Oakland, we welcome you to this, the 112th Presidential Demotion meeting of our Rotary Club of Oakland. Or, as President Ces would say, we welcome you to the 5,345th meeting of the Rotary Club of Oakland. Linda?
Yes, Rotarians and guests, we gather to celebrate the achievements of Rotary President Ces Butner and to send him on his way to his new status as past president of the Rotary Club of Oakland.
Linda, looking around the room here, it appears that Ces has disappeared. He does not appear that he's yet made his appearance yet for this demotion ceremony. Can you do something about that?
I sure can, Ed. Everyone knows under ordinary circumstances, soon to be past President Ces would triumphantly march into the California ballroom accompanied by all of us past presidents. But as you know, this has not been an ordinary year, and so this will be no ordinary demotion. So now I invite all Rotarians, friends, and guests to stand and clap your hands as Ces Butner, our soon-to-be past president of the Rotary Club of Oakland, makes his way to the Zoom podium to the sounds of the marching band of his alma mater, the University of Missouri. We should have music. We have marching. Where's Sandeepa music?
Bump, 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 bump.
Seth, maybe you could sing the marching song for us.
Wow. Well, that was quite a triumphal march, wasn't it? Yes, indeed. So, Ces, welcome to your demotion ceremony. And now to start things off, let me call upon past President Ken Richardson to recite our club's vision statement. Ken?
Okay, it'll be my pleasure, Ed. It has been President Ces's custom to recite this vision at the beginning of his weekly meetings. To all Rotarians present, please join me. Together, we see a world where people unite
and take action
to create
lasting change across
the
the globe
globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. And now, Rotarians and guests, let me introduce President Ces Butner's very special guests. Please welcome his wonderful wife, Teresa Butner, his daughter, Raquel, and his sisters, Nina Butner, Dani Dwyer, and Bonita Butner. And now...
And Andrea Butner.
And Andrea Butner. And now to start the demotion of Ces Butner, I call upon the following past presidents of the Rotary Club of Oakland: Sean Marks, Linda Chu, and Charlie Adams. Take it away.
Thank you, Ken, and congratulations to you, Ces, on a Rotary year well led. If you will, confirm that you previously received a mystery box housed by your favorite beverage, Speakeasy.
I got it right here.
All right, very good. First, Ces, you'll see that one of the Speakeasy beer boxes marked box number 1. Do you see that?
Yep.
Inside that box, you'll find a smaller box. Do you see that?
Yeah, if I open it. Yes, I got it.
Excellent. If you will, please open that box and show its content to your Rotary friends and guests.
Oh,
That's we know of your love of jewelry.
yeah. It's a
And
pin.
it's my pleasure to present to you your past president's Rotary pin.
It says past president, and it'll go right with this other one that says president.
There you go. Wherever you go in the world, Rotarians will recognize you as the past president of Oakland Rotary number 3. And because of your great leadership of this club, we want to congratulate you. And next, I'm going to introduce Linda Chu.
Thanks, Sean. Ces, you have been a source of inspiration and surprise, and we've appreciated every minute of your presidency. As a small reminder, please reach into the Speakeasy box labeled number 2.
Okay.
Got another one to open. And in it, okay. And if you'll show us what's there.
I've got nothing. It's nothing in there. I don't
Well,
know.
we can do a
Wait a
virtual.
minute.
Okay.
It must have fallen out in there. Here it is.
Okay. All right.
That's Butner, past president.
Right.
That was the truth.
Thank you, Ces. You know, during your year as president, you've been at the very center of everything Rotary. You have presided over innumerable Zoom meetings, cocktail parties, board meetings, and during those gatherings, Rotarians have clamored to receive your warm humor and your sage insights. I regret to report, however, that within days of this demotion ceremony, these same Rotarians, well, it's a sad fact that these same Rotarians may forget the club president who you once were. And so,
Yeah.
to protect you from the blank stares across the Rotary lunch lines, once we do that again, we invite you to wear this badge that you've just shown to all your Rotary meetings so as to identify yourself as Ces Butner, past president of the Rotary Club of Oakland, 2020-2021. But Ces, there's more to present. And your next memento, let me welcome past president Charlie Adams.
Thank you, Linda. It is indeed a pleasure to celebrate with Ces his demotion. Ces, please pull out of the contents of Speakeasy box number 3.
Oh, this is one that's wrapped.
Well, unwrap it.
Other ones were easier to get to. All right. America's favorite honor plaque. Oh, it's a plaque. Some sort. Here, here we go.
There,
Nice.
a plaque, a gavel and a plaque with the statement below. What does it say below, Ces?
It says Ces Butner, President, Rotary Club of Oakland, 2020 to 2021. And it's
Yes, Ces. The plaque you hold
Gavel.
commemorates your year as Rotary president, during which you relentlessly sought to bring order to the weekly meetings of scores of independently minded Rotarians who were physically scattered across the vast Zoom universe. As you admire this plaque, I invite you to accept it and the thunderous applause of friends and Rotarians who have once again gathered across the Zoom universe. Now, Ces, let me introduce past presidents Iris Brody Lopez, Goodwin Dibdall, and Carla Betts. And please note, Ces, that in keeping with the social distancing protocols you so masterfully practiced during the last 12 months, past President Iris is appearing from her home in Peoria, Arizona. Past President Goodwin is appearing from her home in Truckee, California. And past President Carla is appearing from her home in the faraway wilds of Piedmont, California. Iris.
Thank you, Charlie. President Ces, you have led a Rotary Club that has been committed to community service, both at home and around the world.
Hi, Iris.
Hi, Carla.
President Ces, if this had been any other year, any other ordinary Rotary year, members of our club would have brought back club banners from all over the Rotary world. These banners would have been reflecting visits to other Rotary clubs and would have commemorated our club's engagement in the greater Rotary world. Gudrun?
Well, Ces, as you know, however, during the year of your presidency, our travel was restricted by order of the CDC and by our own good sense. We knew we needed to stay home and protect ourselves. But it is a tribute to your tenacity, however, that you did not let COVID-19 stop our Rotary Club's outreach to the community and the world. You collaborated with the presidents of the first 5 clubs of the Rotary world. The clubs that serve Chicago, San Francisco, Oakland, Seattle, and Los Angeles. To address issues of homelessness and otherwise to keep the flame of Rotary collaboration alive during your year. And so instead of banners from Paris, Antigua, or Kathmandu, if you'll please pull out Speakeasy box labeled number 4.
Yeah.
Drum roll, please. Da, 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 da.
What we have? Ah,
Okay,
yes.
so I think you're finding some banners in there.
Yes,
And-
I am.
Yeah, and we are honored today to present you with banners of the Rotary Club of San Francisco, Seattle,
Oakland,
Chicago, oh, Oakland, of course, Oakland, and
Chicago.
Chicago. And there should be one more in there from Los Angeles. There it is, Rotary Club of Los Angeles. And these banners come along with greetings from the presidents and the executive directors of the other 4 clubs that you shared presidency years with. Congratulations on a year well-led and enjoyed by Rotarians. Thank you, and of benefit to the community. Thank you, Ces.
Thank you, Gudrun.
And now I think back to Iris, you're on from Peoria.
Thank you, Gudrun. Yeah, it's actually a cool day today. It's only like 103.
Oh,
So Ces, it's
get
been
your
a pleasure.
winter coat.
Yeah. So Ces, it has been a pleasure to have worked with you. And now, if you will reach into the final box of Speakeasy beer, you will find the club's gift to you.
What is that? Oh, looks like something from Pebble Beach.
It's a certificate to play the famed golf course at Pebble Beach in Monterey.
Oh, and,
yeah.
and a hat.
And hat. Oh, cool. This gift is but a modest reflection of what you have personally brought to our club, the Rotary Foundation, and the Oakland Rotary Endowment, and we Rotarians who have been privileged to work with you. On behalf of our entire Rotary Club, we thank you. But Ces, there's more. For some testimonials from friends and colleagues, let me introduce Rotarians Michael Bruck, Mary Rudzer, Lorna Padilla Marcus, and David Stein. Mayor Libby Schaff as well.
Thank you, Past President Iris. As many of you know, President Ces has been an active member of the Port of Oakland Board of Commissioners since 2012. I'm pleased to introduce Dani Dwyer, the Executive Director of the Port of Oakland, who will present his congratulations to President Ces. Please join me in watching this video.
Good afternoon. I'm Dani Dwyer, and it's my pleasure to serve as the Port of Oakland's Executive Director. I have the joy of working with Commissioner Ces Butner as one of my bosses on the Board of Port Commissioners. His work as a Port Commissioner is a volunteer job where he has spent countless hours since he joined the board in 2012. He's been instrumental in planning the future of the seaport. His message to port staff is clear. We need to fight to preserve and expand the port with the mission of broadening job training, access to jobs, and entry to contracting for local and minority residents and businesses. And helping Oaklanders access opportunities, I have learned, is the principle underlying his tremendous work at the Oakland Rotary for education, the homeless, and pandemic relief. Rotary's motto, service above self, is made real through Mr. Butner's work. I give you my heartfelt thanks, President Ces Butner.
Many thanks to Dani Dwyer, and with another special presentation, Past President Mary Rutherford.
Yes, President Butner, I want to introduce to everyone our very own Congresswoman Barbara Lee.
I'm Congresswoman Barbara Lee, and I proudly represent the beautiful 13th Congressional District of California. Now, I have known Ces Butner as a constituent and as a friend since, yes, way back in the day. And I can tell you, it would take more than just a short video to talk about all of the contributions he has made to our community. As a business leader, as a port commissioner, as a philanthropist, and yes, as president of the Rotary Club of Oakland, Ces has been an institution in this town. I want to highlight just a few things from his tenure as president. As you all know, under his leadership, the club launched a diversity and inclusion committee to build on its commitments to end racism and to support social justice. The club has donated to libraries, added scholarships, and made grants to some great nonprofits, both here in our community and around the world, where Oakland Rotary made grants to support creating clean water, healthcare, economic development, education, and much more on 4 continents. And I have been especially grateful for the work that Ces and the Rotary Club have been doing to help our unsheltered population and provide food to those in need during this very difficult year and, of course, last year. Ces and this club have consistently gone above and beyond to leverage the resources and talents of this community to affect change. Make no mistake, we are in a time of great change in America, and leaders like Ces are helping to drive this transformation to a more just and more equitable and more sustainable society. Thank you, my friend, for all that you have done and continue to do for our city and our region, and congratulations on a successful tenure as president of the Rotary Club. I look forward to seeing all of you in person as soon as possible. And yes, Ces, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
And next up is Lorna Padilla-Marcus.
Thank you, Mary. President Ces, it's my pleasure to present this next accolade. In prior years, each president has been presented with the mayor's proclamation in absentia by our own beloved Jean Zahas. As someone who endorsed her in 2010 for city council as she began her political career, I'm sure he'd be pleased to see this year's proclamation presented by a former and now current Rotary member and Oakland native, Mayor Libby Schaaf.
It's a pleasure to be with you to celebrate the official demotion of Ces Butner as the president of Oakland Rotary number 3. I remember in 1999, I was interviewing for my first job in politics, and I was asked, who did you vote for mayor in the last election? This was the election Jerry Brown won, and I was interviewing for a job with Ignacio de la Fuente, who had also run. And I, without apology, proudly said, I voted for Ces Butner. Ces Butner has been one of the greatest leaders and civic givers in Oakland as long as I can remember. Oakland Rotary has been blessed with his leadership over this last incredible year. It's not like Ces wasn't doing a few other things, like serving on the Port Commission and leading the African American Chamber. So it is with some sadness that I am celebrating Ces Butner Day in honor of his official demotion. This is an official proclamation from the mayor for you, Ces. Whereas the Oakland Rotary Club of Oakland, the world's third oldest Rotary Club, is dedicated to the improvement of the city of Oakland and the building of world peace and understanding. And whereas from July 1st, 2020 to June 30th, 2021, oh, what a year that was. Sestra Ces Butner served as the 112th president of the Rotary Club of Oakland. And whereas under Ces Butner's leadership, the Rotary Club of Oakland expressly adopted diversity, equity, and inclusion as core values of its mission, made record-setting contributions to the International Rotary Foundation and to the local Oakland Rotary Endowment, awarded cash grants to more than a dozen nonprofits that support housing and food-challenged Oaklanders, supported foster children transitioning to independent living, distributed books to 700 OUSD transitional kindergartners, and funded water wells in Haiti, an X-ray machine in Bolivia, and dialysis equipment in Sri Lanka. And whereas the Rotary Club of Oakland engaged in weekly programs and numerous activities of fellowship and service, all of which were enhanced by President Butner's wit and warmth of personality. Whereas Ces Butner has been a leader of Oakland's civic, business, and philanthropic life, including the Port of Oakland, Horizon Beverages, YMCA of the East Bay, Oakland Zoo, Sequoia Country Club, African American Chamber of Commerce, Oakland Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce, Oakland Promise, many, many others. And now, therefore be it resolved, I, Libby Schaff, Mayor of the City of Oakland, California, hereby commend Ces Butner for his commitment to the Rotary Club of Oakland and our city, and hereby proclaim June 24th, 2021 as Ces Butner Day in the city of Oakland. You are all directed to celebrate accordingly. And on a personal note, Ces, you are one of the most beautiful human beings I have ever had the honor of knowing. Congratulations. Thank you for all your work that you've done and all the work that is yet to come.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Libby Schaff, for that heartfelt presentation. And now it's my pleasure to introduce past President David Stein.
Thank you, past President Lorna, President Ces, fellow Rotarians, and guests. I am wearing the earring, Ces, in your honor, just to be clear. That's that flashy thing. It's my honor to give a little bit of an overview here. And every year, our club provides phenomenal service to the local community and the world. Every year, our club has wonderful programs and activities. This year was no exception, and I will cover these accomplishments in a moment. Every president makes his or her mark on Oakland Rotary, and President Ces certainly made his. But to truly appreciate the impact President Ces had, it's necessary to put the year into some context. In mid-March 2020, COVID shut down California. On March 13, 2020, Breonna Taylor was killed by police while lying in her bed during the service of a warrant in a drug investigation case. On May 25th, 2020, George Floyd was murdered by Derek Chauvin. And just 6 weeks after George Floyd's death, Ces Butner was sworn in as only the second African-American president of Oakland Rotary. Oakland Rotary was blessed to have President Ces as our leader. President Ces brought his unique background, skills, and values to the challenge of leading the Rotary Club of Oakland in these unprecedented times. You know, Ces is the ultimate middle child. He was born the 6th of 12 children, and although his parents didn't go to college, 11 of their 12 children graduated from college. And whether he was mowing his lawn as a child to earn money for a bike, or selling Bibles to help put himself through college, building a successful business, or leading one of many community organizations, many of which the mayor just mentioned, President Ces always strove for excellence. In everything he did, he set goals, built a team, and inspired others. President Ces always rose to the position of leadership. But perhaps the most important lessons came from Ces's mother. You see, hopefully we'll get the slide up. You see, it was his mother who made President Ces as a child take food to Brock Smith, a homeless man who lived nearby. She told President Ces, but for the grace of God, you could be there yourself. When Ces was leading a team selling Bibles, he was denied housing that was offered to his white team members. On one occasion, the property owner said that he could stay, quote, if he behaved like Johnny, a white man on his team. So Ces called his mother, who told him that is just the way some people are. You need to make it your job to educate people to know that all Black people aren't bad. And whenever he sees racial unfairness, President Ces thinks back to that moment and to what his mom told him to do. And when President Ces was showing his mom the wonderful facility he built for his growing business, it was his mom who asked, but are you happy? Perhaps this question was on his mind when President Jean Zahas encouraged Ces to become president of Oakland Rotary by telling him that the presidential year was the best year of his life. On June 11th, 3 weeks before President Ces took the helm, the Rotary Board of Directors issued a statement on racism. It's quite long, so there's the first part, and then we'll give you the second part. President Ces was committed to the club taking action on racial and social justice. One critical step was creating a focus on the thousands who are unhoused in our community, particularly families. While recognizing that this was a long-term project that wouldn't be completed in 1 year, President Ces formed a task force to help develop a village for homeless families. The task force has done design work, built partnerships, and worked to identify an appropriate site. Combining our speakers' gifts along with Feed the Hungry funds, supplemented by generous contributions from Steve Nichols and MN Builders, Oakland Rotary contributed over $60,000 to 9 local not-for-profits to provide food for those in the community most in need, including the homeless. Among the 9 recipients were the Alameda County Community Food Bank, St. Vincent de Paul, First Presbyterian Church of Oakland, and the Salvation Army. President Ces also asked us to look at ourselves and our club to make sure our actions matched our words. Under President Ces's leadership, by unanimous vote, the club launched a Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee to build our commitment to end racism and support social justice. The committee is planning how best to obtain members' feedback, to explore best practices from other clubs and Rotary International, as well as drafting values, purpose, and DEI statements to expand on and complement our racial justice statement. As part of our weekly programs, we had a series of speakers to educate our members on homeless issues, including unhoused students, mental health issues, and housing policy. Other speakers on social justice issues included Congressmember Barbara Lee, Eric Foner discussing Reconstruction, Reshma Sujani on a Marshall Plan for moms, Bernard Schlag on LGBTQ liberation, Bruce Kwan on a Chinese American family in America, Lee Gelnert on the crisis at the border, and a panel with Dr. Mary Daly, Dr. Anthony Aiton, Dr. Carmen Rojas on the topic of inequity and COVID-19. Social justice was brought to the fore of Oakland Rotary under the leadership of President Ces. As unique as 2021 Rotary Year was, in many ways it followed in the great traditions of service above self that we've had for over a century. Of course,
There were some social distancing modification, a few virtual twists, a bit of muting and unmuting, a couple of technical glitches, but we kept serving. The annual speech contest was held by Zoom for the first time. We had students representing 4 different schools, and 2 of the students were English as a second language learners. Working with Rotary mentors, all 4 students enhanced their speaking skills, gained confidence, and found their voice. And for the second year in a row, we hosted the Area 1 speech contest. And this year, one of our students advanced to the regional level of the competition for the first time in many years. Kinder Prep had to make a major pivot this year, unable to do the regular activities of field trips and providing classroom volunteers. The committee looked for other ways to support our TK students, teachers, and parents. We again provided Lakeshore Learning gift cards to teachers for needed supplies. In addition, virtual learning kits were given to over 600 TK students. Curated by the teachers, these Rotary branded bags contained learning materials to enhance the students' remote learning during COVID. We also contributed $25,000 to the Friends of Oakland Public Schools libraries for the education of virtual TK age reading materials. And we engaged Kids Cubes, a not-for-profit started by 2 Oakland Tech students, Ahmad Mohammed and Elias Barrick, to create science kits for 25 TK students. You're way ahead on the slides, Sandeepa. Go back to the slides of the kayakers. A poem from the Hope Committee Chair, Teresa Wayland. It was the worst of times, it was the best of times. For some mentees struggled and others thought it was sublime. Despite social distancing and Zoom school, all mentors maintained relationships and kept things cool. Hope continued to provide college funding, mentoring, and other opportunities for Oakland youth. This year, several of our Hope students earned summer internships, and one student is her school's valedictorian and received a full ride college scholarship. Hope also had a Zoom holiday party and engaged in social distancing activities just for fun, including this kayaking activity you're seeing on the screen. The Cerrone Lena Scholarship Committee provided scholarships and mentors for 10 new deserving students in conjunction with the Great Expectations program of Oakland Promise, and continued to support 50 ongoing students. Oakland Rotarians hired 7 of our Cerrone Lena scholars as interns in business or professions that will help them advance their career goals. Although community service wasn't able to do hands-on activities during COVID, our financial contributions to the community continued. Grants totaling over $40,000 were given to a diverse groups of 10 worthy community organizations, including the Fire Recovery Fund for Junior Center of Arts and Science. There we go. Move-in essential kits for beyond emancipation for former foster kids, truck repair for City Slicker Farms, and video equipment for the Veterans Community Media Network. On the international front, the Carl Stuckey World Community Service Committee was determined to strengthen existing relationships and build new connections. They funded 8 global grants and 8 cash grants on 4 continents. Here's just a small sample. One of the global grants, Lake Victoria Rotary Clean Water System. In partnership with the Rotary Clubs of downtown LA, Louisville, and Sunamagori, Kenya, we funded 2 water filtration systems sourcing water for Lake Victoria. The clean water will benefit over 5,000 villagers. The water system will be maintained by locals who would be trained and paid to oversee the distribution. They funded a Guardian Water Waste Fellowship program for the first time using international funds to help fund a project in the US. The program will employ low-income college students to collect water samples in rural towns in Loes County, Alabama, and Allenors, California, known as Cancer Alleys because of their water pollutants. These samples will help create tracking systems and develop technology-based innovative solutions while raising awareness in community. This program is part of a $625,000 Genius Grant project awarded for health and research and infrastructure solution, and partners include the UN, NASA, International WASH projects, and a host of NGOs. And some of the other projects included ultrasound screening in Ethiopia. Get that slide. Spina bifida addressing spina bifida in Medellin, Colombia, and hearing screening in Mongolia. And the Business Development Committee didn't stop just because of COVID. They held 3 virtual and 1 in-person event, and continued to provide business development opportunities even in the face of COVID. In addition to our speakers on social justice, our weekly programs featured other high-profile speakers, including Dr. Larry Diamond and Lieutenant General H.R. McMaster, and local speakers including Dr. Joel Parrott, Lori Fogarty, Dwayne Wiggins, and John Bean. And now a note from Committee Chair Queen Carla I. President Ces, you have been the most engaging and delightful person at each of our, quote, cocktail, close quote, events. You know how to make great conversation, and your good humor and chuckle just make everyone feel good. Your spirit of generosity, Ces, inspired all of us. In a banner year, ORE raised approximately $230,000, $40,000 from bell ringers, $130,000 from the ORE campaign, and $60,000 from the virtual gala. And the Rotary Foundation had a year like no other, a record $170,000 in contributions, more than doubling our previous year, #1 club in Rotary District 5170, and we met President Ces's $50,000 participation challenge. But most importantly, we changed the club culture. Membership participation tripled to 95% participation.
I'll take that. That was what it was made for.
And you succeeded. Now, every year, District 5170 presents the Richard D. King Award in honor of a local Rotarian, Richard King, who served as Rotary International President during the 2001-2002 year. The award is bestowed on the Rotarian who makes the greatest personal commitment to the programs of the Rotary Foundation. I'm honored to announce that this year's recipient of the Richard D. King Award is none other than President Ces Butner. Congratulations, Ces.
Thank you.
And then we can't forget last Thursday. What a day it was. The meeting started with 60 in-person Rotarians giving President Ces a standing ovation. And it ended with Brad Howard's presentation on our latest signature project, a mural entitled The Embrace, Celebrating Peace and Diversity. And then later in the day, the mural was unveiled in an inspiring program that included the artist, a poet, and of course, the artwork itself. And if that wasn't enough, we had our first in-person cocktails with the president in over a year. It was a great day filled with fun, fellowship, laughter, and even a few tears. President Ces, your leadership ensured that Rotary opened opportunities for service above self. As you reflect on this year, I hope that the tremendous accomplishments under your leadership and the challenges we overcame will fill you with great pride and joy. Given all that has happened, I don't know if you will be able to say, as Jean did, that it was the best year of your life, but I hope you will be able to say it was the most fulfilling. On behalf of all of the presidents, past presidents, the members of the Rotary Club of Oakland, and all of those whose lives have been improved by your leadership, it is my honor to say, thank you, President Ces. Now, how about a big round of applause? And now it's my pleasure to turn the Zoom podium over to past President Peter Sheriff.
Thank you very much, David. Congratulations, Seth. As you know, everybody has faced a few technical challenges during this year, and so I'm going to ask Sandeepa to actually play a video, which should have played at the beginning, because I think it gives us a sense, gives us a little humor over one of your signature moments. So go ahead, Sandeepa.
Good afternoon. My name is Ces Butner, and I have the honor to serve as this year's president of the Rotary Club of Oakland. Founded in 1908, The Rotary Club of Oakland is the third oldest Rotary Club with some 35,000 Rotary clubs throughout the world. I'd like to welcome you to our 5,301st, 5,303rd, 5,304th, 5,305th, 5,307th, 5,308th, 5,309th, 5,310th, 5,311th, 5,313th, 5,314th, 5,315th, 5,316th, 5,317th, 5,318th, 5,319th, 5,320th, 5,321st, 5,322nd, 5,323rd, 5,324th, 5,325th, 5,326th, 5,327th, 5,328th, 5,329th, 5,330th, 5,331st, 5,333rd, 5,334th, 5,335th, 5,336th, 5,337th, 5,338th, 5,339th, 5,340th club meeting. Everybody remember, Rotary opens opportunities for service above self.
I couldn't resist throwing that in at the end. And also, I'm going to make one other change to what we were going to do, and before you get to say your piece, Seth, and that is that we have had a lot of bell rings. And so I'm going to have the pleasure of reaching out and saying, and I know Dudley's ready. Dudley rang the bell, Bob Breeker, Trish Connors, Mona Hall, Gary Flaxman, Diane Schaefer, Stephen Blair, Georgia Richardson, Jenny Hunsberger, Ken Benson, Linda Boessenecker, Fred Moore, Michael Bruck, Susie Okomizo, Linda Chu, and me have all rung the bell in your honor. So why don't you whack away at that, Dudley? Get some practice. Let's see. All right, there you are. You got the sense. All right, so soon to be past President Ces.
Tell them what the ringing the bell is for.
Oh, that's right. Thank you so much. And for those that don't know, ringing the bell is a $100 donation to the Oakland Rotary Endowment, which funds all of our local programs. So thank you very much to those bell ringers, and thanks for the reminder, Seth. And now, we invite you to offer your final remarks as president of our Rotary Club. And as you make your way to the podium, I invite all Rotarians and guests to join me in raising a speakeasy glass or whatever is your favorite beverage in your honor. So cheers to you, Seth. Hey.
Thank you, Peter. I didn't have anything prepared because I said it all last week, quite frankly. I had 5 really original goals when I gave my first speech as I came in as president. One of them was to get the speakers lined up and make sure we had great speakers so we could keep everybody's interest in the Rotary Club and to attend the Rotary Club meetings. I think we did that, as David has expressed, quite well this year. Was what a lineup that we did have, and thank you, David, once again for doing that, and the whole speakers committee. Second, I had a goal of membership. I'm gonna go through my goals first and tell you whether I was successful or not, because although you said a lot of nice things about me, I like to relate to exactly what I said I was going to do, and if I do it. Second goal was membership. I promised you we'd try to get 50 new members. Well, we didn't quite make it this year. Well, for a lot of reasons. We got only about 25 new members this year. But I think under the direction of Dudley Thomas, the incoming president, we'll get there. by restoring this club to the 300 and above level. And I know he's making that a big part of his campaign for his year. And number 3 was really what this whole thing was all about. I had a goal of reinvigorating every committee that we had. And thanks to you all, we did exactly that. Even in the COVID environment, we were able to accomplish quite a great deal for the year. And it was mentioned with the Speakers Committee, reinventing our logo and look with our Communications Committee to the Civic Thursday meetings that we had all the time. The TRF and the ORE funding drive that we always did, setting records to bring over 160,000 to TRF. That was really a record year, and that's primarily why I'm getting the Richard King Award later on in July at the district conference. And the Kinder Prep and the digital library, all those things that all the committees did were all great. We expanded Carl Stuckey's World Community Service to the rest of the world. We went to Africa this year, in addition to our India projects and Central America projects, and even had a project here locally, as David indicated in the responses. But perhaps most important, was the DEI committee that the board supported me on creating for this club to make sure we push diversity, equity, and inclusion in all that we do. And that it will live as a legacy more past me. And I think that deserves a round of applause for the board of this club. Under my leadership, I'll give it to that, but we actually did it, created the, and Celeste and Greg, you got heavy weights on your shoulders, but I know you're gonna prove to be big things for us and our community and our club. So I think the committees did what they were supposed to be. But that was that goal for committees that I had. And I had a goal of raising $3 million more for ORE for the next 3 years. And we're not quite there yet, but we're gonna get there. And I had the record fundraising for both the ORE this year and TRF. And the 5th goal that I had was the homeless goal. It's a long-term project. And I said it to you at the beginning, and it's still a long-term project. And we will get there by providing our version of what we can do we can't solve the whole problem, but we can do our part for the homeless population here in Oakland. So you see, it's not possible for a president to be successful without all of you, the club membership. And I thank you all for an incredible year. And I just wish that we had this meeting in person. While we got through the whole year, no in-person meetings until last week. Last week was a glorious week. We had a great meeting, and everybody was excited about being back in the California ballroom for once again trying to position ourselves as the fun-loving club that I know we are, that we can get to do and get rid as Oakland and California and the whole across America opens up again. This is really something great for us to do. Now, Dudley, I hear that you're going to have in-person meetings with the hybrid version so that you can join us on Zoom if you can't make it. But it is incredible the response that I received from last week. And last week, not only for that, but because of the peace mural that we unveiled down at Jack London Square as well. That one entailed my attempt to try to work with the other Rotary clubs in Oakland to promote peace and unity and diversity, and was headed by Tom Lamone and Allison Bliss from my board that helped make us get involved in that. It was a beautiful evening, the whole day, with the meeting first and then going down to Jack London Square and unveiling it. And that will last forever for us. It has the plaque on the side of the mural that speaks to the Rotary mission of service above self, about contributing to peace throughout the world and in our communities and in ourselves. It speaks to everything, and it will last for years to come. And that's the most important thing for me, is that in this COVID year, I wanted to have an impact. I knew it would be difficult because we weren't meeting in person, and everybody seemed socially distanced for everything. But I wanted to make sure that we kept Rotary alive and make sure we made our commitment to the community and the world, and that we leave a legacy of what we do. And with your help and the board's help, we did exactly that. I can say, I can report to you today, as David did earlier, that I think we accomplished our goal. And that's what I want to leave everybody with. Probably the best way to say it is, as I always do. So I like to end this meeting, or end my part of it, as we always do. And that's the way it went at the 5,345th club meeting on June 24th, 2021 at Oakland Rotary Number 3. And that's I hope you enjoyed this meeting. Dudley, I think you need to take over.
I was going to be very serious, but after that fight song and growing up around Iowa State, I don't know. Ces, I'm humbled. I'm privileged to be your successor, especially all these other people who put on the demotion today. I thank you for passing this on to me. And the highest honor I think we can say to anybody was, good job, Ces. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. Thank everybody for everything you did for me. I really appreciate it.
Well done, Ces. Well done.
I see my family, some of my family members are on the Zoom call as well, and I thank them too. One of them contacted me direct message, so they didn't let everybody else see it. But I thank them for coming too. They watched my wife and my daughter. One of my daughters is already down in Mexico with her father for his 90th birthday. And I wasn't able to join them, but they were able to join us via Zoom. We had a good Zoom meeting in here. So thank you all for that. And I appreciate all the gifts and everything, and the accolades, and thank you, Mayor, for recognizing it's Ces Butner Day. And all of So that was really quite nice and kind of unexpected, but thank you.
You're such a cool guy. You know that, right?
Mom and Dad would be proud.
Soft heart. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Well, Seth, I can't look. Don't have my picture up, but you all know what I look like. I'm really cute. But I want to thank your family for sharing you with us. Your sisters, your wife, and your lovely daughters, because I know that everything else you do, this took a lot of time, and I really appreciate it. And most important, I am happy that I was able to be inducted in person with you. I was a perpetual guest for a long time, and I joined. So although you're 39, we have like 30 years of friendship.
Great.
I remember when we partied for our 40th birthday, Lois. I do remember.
Yes, and Mr. Butner was generous enough to provide some refreshments at my 40th birthday party. So.
Thank you, David. As usual, you were the man, and I appreciate it.
It was my honor. I hope I did your year justice, because it was a very, very special year and a very special leader. So it was my pleasure.
I think
David, it was awesome. I had to ring the bell one more time just for all those great videos and the music and everything. Fantastic. Now I'm curious, what number meeting is this?
5,345th meeting.
That's a good note to end on. Sign it off.
No,
it looks like it's coming in over $4,000 in bell rings. So Seth, that's an appreciation to you.
All right.
And we had close to 100 people on the Zoom.
Yeah.
I don't know if you look. So, and who knows how many more on the other medias, but it's a great turnout in your honor.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Is my sister still on, or my wife, or I don't know.
I can still see Aunt Loretta and Aunt Nina.
Me and Daddy is here.
And Mom and Andrea are here.
Vida. And Bonita.
We're here. Paula's here too.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Congratulations.
We're unmuted, so.
Andrea and me are here, Dad.
Oh.
Hi.
Where are you?
Barely listen. We had really bad internet, but we heard like most of it probably. Yeah, most of it, but we were in and out.
If you heard David Stein, you heard everything.
Yes. We were lucky that we had a service for that. Yes, it was great. We're so proud of you. We love you, honey.
Thank you.
Oh, I love you.
I love you too.
And the meeting is recorded, so you can go back and see it, so it will be clear.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Great. So did everybody get the memo that cocktails at the President's today?
Oh. Cocktails at the President's today. Come by my house. We'll have cocktails.
What's your address?
Yeah. I don't want that recorded and put it out on Facebook right now.
No. Thank you, Mr. Ces. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Loretta, are you on? Somebody told me.
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Good brother.
Now, Raquel,
Congratulations. Congratulations. So proud of you. Mom and Dad will be so proud.
Oh.
So proud of you.
I think they would. Particularly Mom, for the emphasis on the homeless. I know that's what she was worried about when she told me about Brock Smith. Some of you all know that story. I told it the first meeting that we had. And Loretta's my oldest sister. She knows more than anybody else.
It's not, it's still on the letter.
Thank you.
Hey.
Yes, It says,
We love you, Ces. We
All
love
right.
you.
We'll
Okay?
see you. Thank you so much for coming.
Love you. See you
Love
next
you.
week.
Everybody that was here.
Love
It was a
you.
good year, and we try to make a difference in Oakland.
Yes.
Yeah, run for mayor,
Congrats, brother.
run for mayor again.
That was another time and another place.
Another difference.
Okay, I have to go. I'm supposed to be at a port meeting right now, so I have to go to the port meeting on Zoom. I'm just a little bit late, so I'll get there soon. But thanks, everybody. I appreciate it.
See you next
Going
week.
forward,
Bye.
next week.
Good job, Ces.
Now, we're dark next
Happy
week.
trails.
Next week will be Dudley's inauguration. We'll